Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at our top 20 to 11 games of 2024.
Yes, it's that time of the year again. Yay! We are at the end of another great year of board games. And we are going to take you through our journey of all the top games. So today we are doing top 20 to 11. Then we're doing the top 10 games of 2024. We are then doing the video we've done a couple of years now, which is ranking every single game we played from 2024. And then at the end of the year, we're doing the Rambling Awards with all our friends in there, giving away awards for great games. Couple of notes, of course. We haven't played every single game from 2024.
No.
We have played a bit less than 200 games released in 2024. We still have like 40-50 games upstairs that are from 2024 that we haven't played. There are some big ones in there, so if your favorite game isn't on this list, it might be because we don't like it or because we haven't played it.
Yeah.
Before we do anything else, we have 20,000 subscribers.
Yay! Like, mind blown.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here and listening to our rambling about board games. We really appreciate you.
It's amazing, and yes, like a huge thank you. This wouldn't be fun without any of you, so we are very, very, very happy for that. Then we're gonna start.
Yeah, we don't know each other's list.
No, that's
we
true.
We usually guess crossovers. Do you want to do that
this time? Oh,
time?
crossover guessing. I have forgot about that.
No, yeah,
so
me too. I just came up with it now.
And this is for the whole top 20, right? So this is like a two-parter.
Yes.
Top 20, I'm gonna guess 14.
Oh, I was thinking 15.
Dun,
okay.
dun, dun.
Let's see.
So you don't do 15, I'm gonna do 14.
Let's
the
see.
magical crossover counter is gonna tell you how it goes. Are you ready?
Yes.
It's time. We have played so many great games. This was hard.
Oh yeah, it was. It's
You
always hard, but yeah.
think it's hard, but I had a big problems this year filling this in and making it feel right, but we have done so. So now we're gonna begin. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You can begin if you want to.
I can begin.
Number 20.
My number 20 is Minos. And this is a great game. It's a little long, but the mechanisms really sings in this game because you have the core mechanism from Rurik Dawn of Kiev where you bid on the different actions and then you do them in that order. But in this game, he's added this dice draft in addition to that main mechanism, which I really love. The only thing is that it's a bit long, but other than that, it is an amazing game.
My number 20 is going to be Ezra and Nehemiah, which is a great game. It has a super cool card playing mechanism where you play a card and you get to do actions depending on the color of that card. But if you have other cards showing with the same color, you will get to do that action better. So you're trying to play your cards in the right order, and you are going to lose some cards throughout the game to give you bonuses and scorings. And you are doing, it's basically a Euro game where you do Euro stuff. You are building cards. There is some interaction both on a little pyramid where you build up to get abilities. Somebody has to build before you, and you can snatch that and try to get that ability in the right timing. And then you're building the wall. All of these are very interesting things and what makes this game my number 20.
My number 19 is Loot with 3 O's. And this is a little deceiving of a game because it looks so cozy and nice. And it is cozy and nice, but it also can be very tense because you are choosing what you want to do or what tiles you want to place by placing adjacent to other meeples on this resource board, basically. Yep. And then you will put that onto your own player board, and it's really feels like a race, especially with 2 players, because it's so hard to get all the things that you want in the right location, and you really hope that you will snag that tile before your opponent does. A really fun game.
I agree, but it's not my number 19.
No, what's
Great
yours?
transition.
Yeah.
Do you like it? My number 19 is going to be Civolution from Stefan Feld. This, I would have liked this to be very much higher, but right now it's not. It's one that I think it might change. Playing it more, like in both directions. Because I'm still pretty unsure about, I really like the game, but I don't love it. It's not like one where I'm going to be like, I want to play that again and again and again. But it's very intriguing. It's so big, so massive, so much stuff going on. There is some things I don't like. We did a full review for this if you want to see like more in-depth look on it from our perspectives, of course. But it is one that it's still in that category of it's a great game, and I really want to explore it more, but it hasn't risen higher than this.
Yes. My number 18 is Daitoshi, and this is for me a monster of a game. It's a game that I still find like hard to
get.
Yeah, hard to get, but hard to master. So you're moving around on this rondel, choosing actions, but the thing is that you always want to do one thing before the other.
Yeah.
And it's like an endless rock paper scissors of the order that you want to do things in. But I think that it's so it feels sometimes so impossible to do it in the right way that you want to, but it's about like seeing these opportunities on the board and trying to get the timing just right and trying not to exploit the forest way too much.
Too much. So my number 18 is going to be about the forest. Great transition, great job. It's written, everything is written. And it is Harmonies. Harmonies in the forest.
Yeah.
Harmonies is one that was a big surprise for me. Everybody talked about it. We got a copy and I was like, oh, this is really good because we are big fans of spatial puzzles.
Yes.
You already spoke about Loot. And this is another great spatial puzzle. You're drafting things, and then you're placing them on a board, and you want to have everything perfectly placed so that you can use everything for different combinations because you have patterns that you want to build depending on the cards you're drafting those as well. So it's basically a lot of like you're building your own thing that you want to, or your own scoring possibilities, and trying to maximize on that in great ways. And I love it.
Yeah, it's a great game. My number 17 is a game that we played a long time ago and recently got to play it again.
Okay.
And that is Unconscious Mind. And it's like I've forgotten how fun I think Unconscious Mind is.
Yes.
I love the worker placement where you're not placing workers, you're placing these ideas, but it's workers. And you're building up your player board so that when your ink pot moves, you get to do more stuff. You also manage these 3 different like resources that have different levels, and you're all like using all of this to treat your patients. Using dreams to treat patients, basically like psychological things.
Theme.
Yes, not like people who have broke their arm and stuff. It wouldn't work. But it's an amazing game.
I'm going to talk about your dream now, and your arm is fixed.
Aha!
Perfect. My next one is Pampero. This is one that we recently played, and I really like it. It is a game with so much stuff, and it's so big. Like you have 2 player boards. One is like this big, and you have to play 60,000 pieces on it. And it is a very tight game. Like you have this money and you're trying to build that money because money is points, but to be able to get money you have to spend all your money. In the beginning of the game you feel like, oh, I'm doing this one action, spent all my money, now I have nothing else to do. So it feels like in the same category as like a Terra Mystica or a Gaia project where you feel so restricted in the beginning and you're trying to invest those actions or that money in this case into getting better things. You are building windmills, you are building reactors, not reactors like power plants things, not power plants, electrical things to move electricity, and then you're trying to power these houses. That's like only abstract. So you're trying to do all these things, and every game is going to be different scorings that changes up how you play and what things you want to do. And I really like it. There is different expansions. We haven't played with all of them, but we've played with a couple of them, and it changed up the game a lot. So there's like way different ways that you can play the game, and because of that, I enjoyed the game.
It's a really good game. My number next, I don't remember, is Endeavor Deep Sea, and this is a re-implementation of the game Endeavor something else.
Endeavor
Age of Sail.
and then Endeavor.
Yes. And I like the theme in this game much more. You are exploring the depths of the ocean and you're trying to rescue animals, use your sonar to have more places to explore.
That was sonar.
Write journals or what's
Yes.
it called? Theme, yes. It's doing Euro stuff and it's really fun.
I agree. My number next is going to be the first crossover.
Okay.
First crossover of this video. What can it be? It's gonna be one of the games you already had on your
Yes,
list because
I
that's
imagine.
how crossover works. Just explaining that to people.
Do you wanna like announce what it is, or should we keep it a secret?
Yes, this
It's
is
one
a
of these
secret game.
games.
One of them. It is Daitashi.
Aha!
This is crossover dance.
Crossover dance.
Crossover into your dance, or maybe into the moon. Okay, crossover moon dance. So yes, Daitashi is a fun game. It has this, as you said, like the movement. So it's not like a worker placement game, but you are moving your worker and trying to, as you said, do everything before you do the other thing. And the cool thing is that you are building up this board, and when you build something, it's going to be available for everybody. So you're kind of opening up more possibilities for the other people as well. And you are, as I said, trying to exploit the forest as much as you can without doing it too much. And then building a little park and being like, hey, this is what I'm giving back to the forest. So a very neat game. I like it feels very unique, and the board is very unique as well, like many parts of that game. That's why it's on my list.
My number 15 is Inventions, Evolution of Ideas, and this is this year's Vital Lacerda game. And I remember us giving like a little, not negative review, but almost everything he puts out is a 10.
Yeah.
So this was not a 10, but it's still in my like top 20 of the year. So that means it's pretty good. This is a worker placement game and you are blocking yourself, but not other people. And you are all trying to work together kind of to invent these ideas, try to actually build them and then getting them published, and doing a lot of other cool Euro stuff. But this is a game of optimization and timing and what do you call it, combo. You could have a turn. You can have a turn where you just do one thing, but the optimization you could do in this game could make you do like, I do this, and because of this, I get this bonus, I do this action, then I turn this resource into something else, and then I can do this stuff. And that is really fun.
It's a good game. It's not my next one.
What is your next one, Johannes?
Thank you for asking, because if you hadn't, I would never have told you. My next one is called Andromeda's Edge. This is a Euro game where you also roll dice, and I enjoy so much about this game that it's here. Yes, bye. Now this game it's just fun. It is a bit too long for like the amount of like randomness with the dice rolling, but I can look past that because I enjoy so much about the things I do in the game. It's one of those where just like it's a fun game. Dwellings of Eldervale, which this is based on, is also one that I liked, and I remember liking it more than you back in the days as well. And it's just like there's something about everything that makes that dice rolling work with it. Because if you took that away, it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be not that interesting, but everything as a package, it's really good. It's not one I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm excited to play this all the time, but it's gonna be like, oh, this is a great fun game. When you want something in that space, exploration, it's not a 4X by any means, but I think you would also agree you would rather play that than, for example, Eclipse or games like that, which also has a lot of randomness, but like more of that and not that much of the fun stuff.
Yeah, this is a great like combination of dice rolling, combat, but also Euro stuff.
Yes, we love Euro stuff.
We love Euro
If you love
stuff.
Euro stuff, subscribe to the channel because you can.
My number 14 is a game from a first-time designer.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thomas Hollack has put out 3 great games this year, but one of them is Tea Garden. And in
That's correct. That's a correct statement.
And that's my number.
Okay.
It's on
And
the list.
another one of them is Galileo Galilei. And the third one is SETI.
I'm talking about Tea Garden now.
Oh, it's on your list?
Yes.
Okay.
It's right here.
Cool.
On this list. And this is a game that I was very positively surprised with because like it was the first one of his that we played and I was like, this is great. And you are playing cards not only for like the value, you can add multiple cards together to get a higher value to do an action. You are like harvesting tea in this game, but you can also have a symbol visible on your card that lets you do like a secondary action. And so you also building your deck throughout your game to get new cards that you can add so you get better things you could do. Higher value, more secondary actions. And like I just like all the things that you do in this game and you're trying to squeeze out as many secondary actions as you possibly can, basically.
It's a great game. I agree with you, but it's not my next game.
I'm looking forward to an exact crossover so you can see. Say,
It is my
next game.
My next game is going to be a tiny game.
A
Very small game.
Small?
All about flipping things.
Aha!
It's Flip 7.
Yeah.
Flip 7 is a stupid game. It's a silly game, but it's also probably our most played game of the year. It is so much fun. It's one that you can keep in your pocket. If you have the version we have, if you have the retail version, you can't because it's too big. Make it smaller. But it's so good. It's just like it gets you all the feeling of going to Vegas and gambling, but you don't lose all your money. And you also don't have to go to Vegas. It's a lot of fun to be there, but I would like to just play games at home as well. And Flip 7 gives you everybody that push your luck. It's a perfect push your luck game. There's probability. Of course, you can be lucky or unlucky. You just have to live with that in this game. But it's a 10-minute game. And it's so much fun, and we never play it once. Because it's like everyone when it's done, like, oh, let's play again. It is just pure fun in a package, and I recommend that this is one that you should just have.
Yeah.
Everyone, buy it. We're not sponsored.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. My number 13 is the 7 Citadel. And this is the new version of 7 Continents and wrapped in a package that is a little more like story-based, not that survival heavy, that feels a little better for me because I hate when a bear suddenly jumps out of a bush instead of berries.
25 hours of gameplay and you die.
But this was a really fun experience. We played it, the two of us.
Yes.
And exploring this really weird and crazy and like gloom world.
Yes.
Gloomy was the word that I was looking for. And we played I think, was it both of the like chapters?
No, we played the first campaign.
The first campaign. And I'm really looking forward to play more of that game. It was really fun and it is just basically trying to use your deck as like deck of cards as checks, so it's like a probability game, but like the world around that you are exploring, that was the fun thing to me.
I agree. My number 13 is Sankore. Yes.
Pride of Mansa Musa.
Yes. From Osprey Games. It was very early this year. This is one that basically for many fell a bit out under the radar. It was sad because it's a fantastic game. There was a reprint recently, which hopefully get more people to play this game. It is a heavy, big game. Fabio Lupiano, the other designer you see on the screen, because I don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Mandela?
Yes, I just don't remember the rest of his name. It's a big game. You are getting workers, you are placing them on these tiles, and you are doing the tiles. You are drafting tiles that you place in your tableau, and those tiles are going to tell you which actions you can do. But depending on where you place them and the worker colors on them, you have to have specific workers so you can place other workers on top of them like a pyramid. And then you are You have all these different mini games, but they all work together because the things you get in this one, you need in that one to do in this one. And then there is all about the timing because suddenly it's going to be like, oh, now there is a check to see who is the best in this category, and they get stuff. And you're trying to get these books, so you can use the books to get more stuff, and it's so hard to get victory points, but you're having so much fun because this game is great.
And it looks beautiful as well.
It does.
And my number 12
12!
is...
We're getting to the end.
Yeah, it's a crossover.
Oh, the second one only.
Yes,
That's
it is a
pretty cool.
crossover, so I'm wrong already. I don't think we're gonna have 15 crossovers. Well, it might happen.
It might happen because things in this one might be in the other one.
My math is not that good, but it's harmonies. So
Okay.
we need to do a crossover dance.
Cross over. 1, 2, 3.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Crossing over like a dance. It's a very bad dance.
The
Like boom,
crossover
boom.
is over. Harmonies,
Crossover.
as you said, we really like this spatial puzzle, and it's one that surprised me because it looks like this simple game, like this very nice artwork, and then it really has more depth to it than it looks because you are trying to make everything, as I say, everything you put on your board try to work with multiple patterns, and you can also play with like a special rule for you that you get extra points for something else. You have also like 2 ways that you can play with the scoring. So for example, the rivers that you can use to mix it up. But I really enjoy being like, okay, I'm now trying to draft these houses and get different things around them because that's the scoring for the houses in general, but I really want that pattern. It doesn't match up. Okay, what is more important and what am I actually able to draft? So all those little decisions makes this a wonderful game.
My next game is a crossover.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is Unconscious Mind.
Aha.
Crossover. 1, 2, 3. Boom, 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 crossing over in my face. Okay. Crossover dance is over and we are back. Unconscious Mind is a really good game. We played this 2 years ago. 2022 we played this. It's almost in November 2022 we played this. So it's like almost exactly 2 years ago, which is not special and didn't need to know. But now you know. And I just really enjoy almost everything about this game. You are, as you said, you are doing a pretty tight worker placement stuff. When you play 2 players, which we just did recently, you are blocking half of the worker placement board. So depending on how players play, it might be like, oh, there's no spaces on the worker placement board because you can do different things. You can also use actions to treat your patients, and then you can reset, of course. So it's like one of those where you either place or you reset, but also have to treat your patients. Treat yourself. And then you are trying to, it's basically a recipe fulfillment game.
Yeah.
You're trying to get these different resources to be able to pay the resources on the cards you have so that you get better stuff on these workers or on these patients, which will give you instant abilities, points, or end of scoring, end of game scoring, just, and so many things to think about. There might be like 1 too many steps in it, but other than that, just like a very, very good game, and that's why it's here. And now there's only one more.
Video.
But remember, there's more. There's gonna be a top 10.
Yeah.
Because this is only the top 20 to 11. We're not gonna stop there. You're
I
actually
rank all the games that we played. Almost 200.
yes, and you're gonna get all of these videos. But if you subscribe to the channel, it's easier for you and better for us.
Yes, that's
Do
true.
it!
My number 11
Yes?
is gonna be a crossover,
Dun dun dun.
and it is Flip 7
Yes.
and crossover dance.
Crossover. 1, 2, 3. Dun, 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 dun,
Like a
dun,
very
crossing,
smooth one
crossing
this
over.
time. You summarized it so well. Flip 7 is our go-to game to bring to anywhere we play
Yes.
games. Also with people who normally don't play a lot of games.
Yes, like on the
everybody
bus.
has loved. Yes.
Like in the grocery store, like,
Well,
hey, you wanna play a game?
No. And also you just had so much fun when you play it, even though it's just like push your luck. I don't like push your luck usually. That's not my favorite mechanism at all. But this is just like, it's so fast, it's so fun. When bad stuff happens, you just laugh and then you get desperate to get a lot of points, and then you definitely bust because
Yes.
you're pushing it way too long. Yeah, just like an amazing game that I think, as you said, everyone should have.
My number 11 is Spectacular. It's not. Oh no, it's not. It's like it's spectacular
Yeah, I
game,
got
but
it.
it's not spectacular.
Oh, it is.
My number 11. No, it is spectacular. It is great joke. Thank you, Bob. Spectacular is a. It just has things I like. It has drafting of dice, drafting of tiles. It has placement of dice, placement of tiles,
Yeah.
and a spatial puzzle. So it's just like everything I like in the game. It's just it could have just been like, this is for you. Boom, we made
Thank
this
you.
for you. And you can play with a lot of people in a short time. It has just like a very neat spatial puzzle when you add the missions, which I think you should if you're a gamer. Like if you are. If you're playing with family or you're playing with light gamers, it's a great game without it.
Yes.
But like if you wanted the real crunch, like the super duper crunch, adding those in there is going to just make that game go to an 11. Like it is so much fun. You play it in 30 minutes. You're trying to place different animals in different colors adjacent to each other in specific ways so that you score the most points at the end of the game. Not during the game. At the end of the game, you will score the most points, and that's going to be the winner. It is just a superb game that I love, which is obvious because it is my number 11 of the year. But wait, there's more. Top 10 incoming from the side. It's going to be amazing. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
me too.
This has been such a great year for gaming. Please let us know what is your 20 to 11 if you even have one. What are your favorites? We cannot wait to hear them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.